Hello, my name is Mr. Waller. I'm Head of History here at St Christopher's, and I'm here to tell you about the A-Level History course that we run. Our course comprises of 3 parts. The first part is a unit that you will do across Year 12 and 13 on a history of the Cold War. In Year 12, we largely focus on the origins of the Cold War and the conflict erupting out of World War II and the settlements between the major powers of the US and USSR. And then that moves through in Year 12 to the 1960s, covering a range of conflicts, both hot and cold during that period, such as the Korean War and the missile crisis. Now, in Year 13, that course moves on, looking at issues through Vietnam and Afghanistan, to some of the nuclear arms treaties, and finally to the end of the Cold War in the early 90s. There's a second unit which is on the Tudors, and this moves in Year 12 through the reigns of Henry VII, how he establishes the Tudor dynasty, some of the issues that he faces both in foreign and domestic policy, and challenges both at home and abroad. The second part of that Year 12 unit looks at the reign of Henry VIII and the challenges he faces in securing the reign of the Tudors, both through the religious conflicts that erupt out of his divorce and the subsequent challenges that he imposes upon the church, the dissolution of the monasteries and his own financial difficulties. In Year 13, that course moves through the mid-Tudor crisis and onto the reign of Elizabeth I. Both those courses finish with examination at the end of Year 13, looking at source skills, interpretation, evaluation, and of course, essay writing. You'll get to study sources in a primary fashion. You'll be able to analyse the views of various scholars and historians throughout the period. The third unit is a coursework unit, which is a Russian history unit. This unit will look at approximately 100 years of Russian history in the late 19th and early 20th century, and is taught to build up to an essay called your non-examined assessment. This is produced at the end of Year 13 and goes some way towards your final examination mark, and is marked internally by us as a school. I hope that gives you a flavour of what you can expect here at St Christopher's. It's a fascinating course. We have a range of teachers who teach the different units, and we try and engage our students both in the classroom and out with a range of trips and informative lectures, as well as our own lunchtime lecture series running here at St Christopher's. Thank you.
My name's Harry and I study PE, Sociology and History at A-Level at St Christopher's Sixth Form. I'm particularly interested in history. My favourite aspects of the course are the Vietnam War and the Cuban Missile Crisis. I particularly like this because it tells us about the tactics, and we get to learn about what actually happened in the war, not just the impact. I love the course overall though because it covers such a wide range of time periods, and it also covers the globally as well. After I leave the sixth form, I'm hoping to go on to do history at university, where I will then gain a PGCE and become a history teacher. I've always been interested in doing this since a young age. This is because I think some people see history as boring, but really it affects the way we live today and it affects our future. I think you should come to St Christopher's Sixth Form because it's a really good community and it's got a great spirit. The history department are really good. They're always helpful. Whenever you need help with your essays or anything you don't understand, you can always go to them and ask for their advice, or if you find anything difficult. And overall, it's a really great course with some great people involved.